Hey guys, what up? It's your boy Brandon here, and it's been quite a while since I was able to do a garage vlog. In fact, so much of a while that I've actually been able to clean up most of the garage in that time. If you can tell right behind me, it's a lot more organized. I got the Tonka truck back here actually from some bullcrap with a Tonka truck. Hell, that was a fun video to make, for the most part. So anyway, there's a reason I wanted to make this video. It was to properly address why Homies on a Friday Night is on hiatus and why I came to that decision. Sure, I've explained it before, but I didn't really go into good enough detail about it. So I'm going to go over the details as to why the series is on break for now and when it could be coming back. So I think the immediate reason as to why we went on hiatus was because, well, my iPod 5 I was recording with had died. And when I mean died, I've said it before, the charger port was messed up. In other news, I couldn't really get it to work again. I mean, sure, it would turn on, but I mean, it was at like 40 or 30% battery. I'm sure it's dead for good by now. Battery completely drained and all that jazz. But that was the immediate reason as to why Homies on a Friday Night was put on hiatus. What follows is probably, I don't know, 1, 2, maybe 3 reasons that were like long-term reasons. So I'll try to look at any other possible reasons. But there are 2 immediate reasons that, well, we had to do this. One of the long-term reasons was because I felt like the jokes were getting kind of stale. I mean, originally, Homies on a Friday Night was just like the jokes would come at random and then we'd kind of, I'd like to say, dick ride that joke for a while. I'm not gay, so don't even go thinking that, guys. But we'd ride that joke into the ground for a bit and try to come up with a new one, usually by sheer luck. Or Connor will say something stupid and funny and then we'd just go along with that. That's how the mixtape joke happened. That's how Muhammad Corpse in the Ground Ali happened. That's how, hell, what else? That's how some of the random quotes in some of the Ready to Rumble episodes would happen. And then there'd be instances where I'd just do something weird and it just kind of like we'd go along with that. Like, for example, David started a little bit, I think, joking about me being a weeaboo because I liked maybe one anime. In truth, I'm not a weeaboo. In fact, I'm not even an otaku or a casual anime watcher. I watch like maybe 1 or 2, like when I'm bored. Other than that, some of the things I'll watch, some of my favorite animes of all time consist of, well, let's see here. We got Super Mario Logan, we got the Alex Jones show, we got the spin-off for the Alex Jones show, Paul Joseph Watson. One of my favorite animes of all time is iDubbbz. I mean, that's me. So yeah, maybe I am a weeaboo then, so who gives a shit, right? And that's pretty much how a Homies on a Friday Night joke just comes about. We just drag something on, something just happens at random, and we use it as a joke. That's how we do our jokes. We don't write our jokes. In fact, the only episode that I guess would kind of be written was episode 25, and that was when, well, I created this board game that took like, I don't know, a whole weekend to make. And we used that as just like some sort of Jumanji-like story. I mean, the whole episode wasn't scripted. But in general, what we were doing was kind of scripted. Not like actually playing the game or anything like that. But like, the only thing scripted about the show sometimes would be like, I don't know, maybe the games we play. Because I've been kind of known for going out and just like looking to see what games we want to play. Like, to be honest, some of my favorite games we've played on Homies on a Friday Night is Toe Jam and Earl and Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2. That was a lot of fun, especially Toe Jam and Earl, although we've only done 1 episode of that. I mean, there's a few other games that we could play, but we haven't gotten around to them yet. Side note, I do apologize if you hear traffic. I live near a church, and they have church every, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Sunday night. They practically live at this church. Another reason I guess we could tie into why we had to put Homies on a Friday Night on hiatus was probably because we were playing the same games over and over again. I mean, don't get me wrong, with Retro Underground as our sponsor, we could get our hands on, well, pretty much any game, really. But the problem with me is I'm picky, and I've wound up, like, the past videos, it's been, like, the same games. Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2 has had the most exposure on our channel. The only other game that's had, the same amount of exposure was maybe, I don't know, maybe Super Mario World or Dangerous Hunts. And I'm kind of getting bored, frankly, of just, like, the same 3 games over and over. I mean, we got plenty more games we could play, like, in my library. And I got plenty of games that, like, we could do, like, with our library. Like, I think the most interesting episode we had done to date thus far, other than episode 25, was, what was it, episode 21, 22? Where we played the Atari flashback plug and play. I mean, that was something that I was just like, you know what, let's spice it up a little bit. And I tried to make us go back to our roots with that. But unfortunately, Gina just didn't seem to want to play that night. We also played Super Mario 64 in that episode, and that was mostly Connor. But he seemed to have a good time with that, so hey, that was cool. Another reason we had to put the series on break was because I kind of felt like I was forcing it on my siblings and on Connor. You see, Gina, David, and Connor, when we're at our grandparents that night, yes, we filmed this in my grandmother's basement, but hey, how do you think Wayne's World was done again? But anyway, the reason we put this on hold was because, well, Gina was kind of feeling like I was forcing it on her and the jokes were getting stale. She actually brought this up. It was kind of blunt at first, and then after a bit, like that night, I thought to myself, am I really forcing this on them? So I went to talk to her about this, and we came to the decision that it was time for a well overdue break. So we took a break, and that's basically why we had to stop. And another reason I decided to put the series on break is because we are past, like, way past where I wanted to have, like, the end of a season. Originally, one season for Homies on a Friday Night was going to go 9 episodes with, well, the 9th episode being done on Periscope. But when episode 18 rolled around, I was like, nope, we're going to keep going, and I was going to stop at episode 18 for, like, a season break. Yes, Homies on a Friday Night's supposed to be in a seasonal order, and I was going to do episode 18 live on Periscope. That's why episode 9 was never released on YouTube. You can find it on my Periscope at Franciosi the Boy. Boy spelled B-O-I. And then I guess another background reason I think would be I'm in college and I gotta focus on that now until I can get a proper footing on this semester and know what I'm doing and all that stuff. So that way I can make time for YouTube, and that way I can make time for school. I mean, I have to have time for school. I have to make time for YouTube. So I have to focus here, and then when I have spare time, I can try and bring it to here, if you know what I mean. Because, I mean, I've been thinking about getting into, like, I don't know, writing or journalism even. I've been thinking a little bit about journalism, and I'm not going to CNN, so you can bet your ass that I'm going to stay out of that. And those are pretty much the reasons why Homies on a Friday Night is now on break. When will we be bringing it back? Eventually. The date I'm looking for to get back to Homies on a Friday Night is no earlier than late September, but then again, no later than mid-October. I want to get the series back before Halloween, but I don't want to get back to it, like, immediately. Next Friday would be a Homies on a Friday Night filming day, and I'm not looking into filming that day. So I just want to let you guys know that right now. We may get back to it either between September 21st, which is the start of fall, and October 31st, which is the start, well, which is Halloween. So one of those Fridays between those two dates. we will definitely get back to it. We're not abandoning the project. In the meantime, I am trying to figure out something new, and I have a big video idea I'm going to try to shoot tomorrow for Labor Day. So, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this, and, well, I'm out of here. See you around. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and share with your friends on their social media. Oh, and speaking of social media, be sure to follow me on Instagram at official.brandon.franciosi, where I'll be sure to update the YouTube channel as often as possible. You'll get behind the scenes stuff and various other things about me and my personal life. Again, thank you, and thanks for watching Franciosi and Friends Productions.